honestly didn't think we'd be back with another book haul until Christmas. Here we are. And honestly, I feel like I might be just as shocked as you guys are. I was very randomly, but very generously gifted an Amazon gift card. And when I received that, I was like, well, we all know what I'm gonna do with this. Like, there's no doubt in my mind, I'm gonna buy some books. And that's today's excuse. We have a few to open today. Honestly, I'm pretty proud of my book spending habits over the past few months. Apart from that, I've been a lot more intentional with my book buying. But you just can't say no to a gift card, am I right? Like, what was I supposed to do? Not buy books? It's just not going to happen. But I thought since I'm going to open these packages today, I would also show you all of the other books that I've picked up in the past few months. There's not too many, but I might go through those first and then we can go through and open the packages together. So starting off in September, these are the only books that I bought. This is the Magnolia Parks universe, and I just had to show you guys. I know I've talked about them in some of my videos, but these are just my absolute favorite book covers as well. They're just such stunning books. They are very expensive to get in Australia. They're probably expensive other places too, but I've had a lot of Australian girlies message me recently and say, where did you get your Magnolia Parks books? I got mine from Amazon. It was the cheapest I could find them, and they're still close to $30 each, and yes, I did pay about $30 each. But these are some of my most prized possessions, so they're worth it in my opinion. And then as for other purchases that I haven't showed you yet, first of all, we have Something Wilder by Christina Lauren. This was a bit of an impulse buy, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest, this was an impulse buy. It was part of like an Amazon deal and it was really, really inexpensive. This was on sale for $6 and I was like, I have never seen a really popular paperback for $6. It was on my like future TBR wish list, like books that I haven't bought but I would love to buy and read. So when I saw it as like a daily deal for $6, I was like, yes, I will be ordering that straight away. So a bit of an impulse, but I'm excited to try it. I feel like Christina Lauren is a bit of like a hit and miss author for me personally. I really like some of her books. I don't really like some others, but we'll see where this lands for me. And then lastly, before we get into the packages, I also recently picked up the To All the Boys I've Loved Before Trilogy by Jenny Han. This was also on a really great deal on Amazon. I am such a sucker for a good deal. I know it's bad, but I think this trilogy was on sale for $20 for all 3 books. And I was like, I've got to get it. I've got to. I read The Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy earlier this year and just absolutely loved it. I love a good YA romance. Yes, they are cheesy and yes, they're cringy, but sometimes that's exactly what you need. So we have To All the Boys I've Loved Before. Also, I haven't seen these movies either. I think I might have seen part of the first one, but I genuinely don't remember anything. So this will be really fun because I just don't know anything about this series. This is the movie cover and then the other 2 are not the movie cover, which is really interesting coming in a box set, but I'm not going to complain. Then we have P.S. I Still Love You and Always and Forever, Lara Jean. Moving on, let's get into our packages, shall we? Also, if you're new here, welcome. I make a lot of book videos, so subscribe, stick around if you would like to. And you guys can follow me on Instagram on my like personal account, but also on my Bookstagram. I'm always updating you on what I'm currently reading and like my current thoughts. And so if you want to keep more up to date with my current reads, definitely follow me on there. But let's get into these packages. A lot of these have been on my wish list for a really long time, so I'm genuinely so excited to open them, and I don't quite remember what's in these. I've been collecting these for a few weeks, maybe even a month now. They've just been slowly coming over time. So let's open them, shall we? Start off with this one. First book we are unboxing is Juniper Hill by Daphne Perry. This is actually the book I'm reading right now on my Kindle because I'm impatient. I'm so excited. So this is the second book in the Eden's, I was going to say trilogy. It is a trilogy right now, but there are more books going to be released. The first one is Indigo Ridge. Well, technically there's like a prequel novella, and I read that, but I don't think it's like super necessary. But yeah, this is the second book in that trilogy and I am loving it so far. I'm about halfway through and it's just so good. Grumpy Sunshine, Small Town, Single Parent, some of my favorite things. Maybe we can build up a pile there. Next up. Okay, I feel like I'm so late to the bandwagon with this one, but this is The Light We Lost by Jill Polo. I heard a lot of people talk about this a really long time ago, and then I feel like people just stopped talking about it, but this has been on my wish list for so long. I don't actually know exactly what it's about, but I've heard a lot of people say it's just like super emotional and it just like breaks your heart and then puts it back together again, which is one of my favorite types of romances. Oh my gosh, interesting. So they meet one day in New York, and then it says over the next 13 years they are torn apart, then brought back together time and time again. It's a journey of dreams, of desires, of jealousy, of forgiveness, and above all, love. Oh, I am excited, but I'm also scared. This feels like Christmas. I wish I could do this every day, but I definitely should not. What's it gonna be? Okay, so this is Indigo Ridge, like I said, the first book in the Eden series, so I just read this really recently. These are also pretty short, like they're really fast to get through. I'm so excited to have all of the books lined up eventually, because when the series is like completely finished, there will be 6 books, because there are 6 siblings and they're each gonna have their own book, and I feel like they're just gonna be so fun. I love a series. I can't help myself. I'm a series girly. Next one. Oh, that was a satisfying one. Okay, we have 2 books. Interesting. Okay. First of all, we have Kailand by Mia Sheridan. I don't know a lot about this one, but I love Mia Sheridan. She is the author of Archer's Voice and also Most of All You. Both books I absolutely adored. I think I only read 3 by her. I also read Travis, which I also really liked. Like, I haven't read a book from her that I don't like yet. Her romances tend to be quite like emotional, like 2 broken people finding healing, lots of character development, and I love that. So this one is about Tenley, who is a girl who is trying to win like a scholarship to college to basically escape her life, because I'm assuming it's quite a difficult life. And then Kailand seems like he's also had a really difficult life and he's also trying to win the scholarship. So they're both like versing each other, a bit of a rivals to lover situation potentially. What happens when only one person gets to win? When only one person gets to leave, and what happens to the one left behind? I actually quite like the cover of this one too. Really pretty. And then the other one in this package is Maisie Meyer's newest book, Our Secrets and Scars. This is a fairly new release. Maisie Myers is also the author of The Truth About Love, which is another romance book that I read this year and absolutely loved it. That was her debut novel, so I guess this is her like second book that she's ever written. It's a lot shorter than I was expecting it to be, because The Truth About Love is quite chunky, whereas this is only, oh my gosh, it's under 300 pages. But I also have literally no idea what this is about. I just bought it because I knew that I loved her previous book and I like her writing. Oh, okay, it's a pen pal romance. She falls in love with a prisoner. You were only ever supposed to be my pen pal, the faceless man in a prison cell who got me to spill my secrets. But for 4 long years, your letters were my lifeline. They brought me comfort in a world of cruelty. They brought me peace when all I felt was pain, until suddenly they stopped. It's kind of giving Punk 57 in terms of like the letters and like the pen pal, but I haven't read Punk 57, so I don't know if it's actually like that. This one sounds so interesting. Obviously, I'll update you guys in future wrap-ups and future recommendation videos, and probably future like reading vlogs as well, but I'm intrigued. Also, both of these books, and the Juniper Hill ones as well, have that really nice like matte feeling. Like they just feel really nice. Next, I'm trying not to look because it's more fun. I love how I literally picked all of these out and I'm trying to pretend that they're a surprise. What is this one? Okay, so this is Garnet Flats, which is the 3rd book in the Eden series. So these are the only 3 that are released right now, along with the prequel novella. How stunning is that? It's kind of giving Truly Devious, or like the Inheritance games. Like these are the same colors as those trilogies. I'm so excited to have these on my bookshelf. And I'm so excited to read Garnet Flats as well. I literally have so many new books to read and I'm so excited. Okay, we're on to the second last package. We just have this one and then the box. But this one's a bit bigger, so I'm assuming there's more than one in this one. Feels like 2 books. The first one is, oh, there's more than 2 in this one. So this is a fantasy book, a little bit different from what I've been showing you so far. I'm definitely back in my like romance reading era at the moment. I have been really loving romance books, but prior to that, I was in a very big fantasy phase. And I've heard so many people talking about Kingdom of the Wicked, especially lately, because the 3rd book, and I think that's the final book in the trilogy, just got released. I'm actually really unsure if I'm gonna like this. I honestly have no idea. Seems a little bit, I'm not sure. Okay, it's like marketed as YA, but I've also heard a lot of people say this is not YA. So I just don't know what to expect. I really have no idea. I don't really love the cover. It's not really my personal vibe. I'm not really into like skulls, just my personal aesthetic, but we'll see. I thought I'd commit to the first book and then we'll go from there. Next we have, okay, so this is the Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels. Basically, I heard one person talk about this on TikTok months ago and I haven't stopped thinking about it since. The girl that I saw talk about it on TikTok, I don't remember her name. It was just like a random video on my For You page, but she was basically like, why is no one talking about this book? This is just so good. It's like my new favorite romance. This is amazing. She was just like raving about it. And I've seen people talk about this and I've seen it in bookstores, but I've never really heard anyone rave about it. But as soon as I hear that a book is someone's favorite book, I'm just like so intrigued. And I'm like, if you like rave about a book, if it's like your favorite romance ever, I want to read it. I want to experience that feeling. And a lot of the time it doesn't end up being my favorite romance, but sometimes they're right. Like when Magnolia Parks was being like super hyped up over TikTok and Instagram and everywhere, I was so hesitant because I saw some people say they absolutely loved it and some people said they absolutely hated it, but I gave it a chance and it's now literally one of my favorite romance books of all time. And so when I see people say it's their favorite, I've got to give it a chance because I just don't want to miss out. And this is just one of those times, I guess. I think this is a romance book, but I think it is, I'm assuming like maybe enemies to lovers, honestly. It's giving enemies to lovers vibes. I also just really wanted it for the cover because, are you joking? Like, who doesn't want that sitting on their bookshelf? Like, that is absolutely stunning. I have a thing for blue books. Blue and pink books, I'll probably buy them even if they're not good. Cecilia Bassingwaite belongs to a very prestigious circle of women, the Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels. Yet this is no ordinary Victorian lady society. These women spend their days pickpocketing and blackmailing their way around the country. But when Cecilia meets Ned Lightburn, her world is set to change forever because he's a paid assassin and she's his next hit. I'm so excited. I don't know what it is, but I freaking love books about assassins. Give me a book with assassins or like missions, heists, stuff like that. I'm sold, and this sounds like that. Okay, and the last book in this package, The Morbids by Ewa Ramsey. I have honestly wanted this book for so long. I've seen it in bookstores for over a year now, but I've just never heard anyone talk about it, and sometimes it's hard to take a chance on a book where you haven't heard anyone talk about it. But I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna bite the bullet and I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna see. Kailand is convinced she's going to die. Oh, okay, amazing start. 2 years ago, she was a normal 20-something with a blossoming career and a plan to go traveling with her best friend until a car accident left her with a deep, unshakable understanding that she's only alive by mistake. Kailand deals with these thoughts by throwing herself into work, self-medicating with alcohol, and attending a support group for people with death-related anxiety, informally known as the Morbids. But when her best friend announces she's getting married in Bali and she meets a handsome doctor named Tom, Kailand must overcome her fear of death and learn to start living again. I honestly don't know what genre this is. It might just be general fiction, but it looks like it's going to have a lot of character development, which I love. And it just seems like a really interesting story, honestly. I really like the cover too. Is this an Australian author potentially? Maybe that's why I haven't heard a lot of people talk about it. It looks like it might be Australian. That's cool. I hope I really love it because then I can infiltrate the book community with more Australian authors, which we love. I'm assuming there's obviously a few books in here, but I don't know how many. Oh, I forgot that I ordered this. Okay, looks like there's 3 books in here. Firstly, we have A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime by Monica Murphy. I've heard so many people talk about this and I'm so excited to read it because it's based at like a really prestigious school or college or like boarding school or something. I love books that are based on or around like a college campus, like have that kind of academic feel. Even if it's not dark academia, I just love the academia vibe. This book used to be indie published, and indie published books are often very expensive, especially in Australia, but it recently got picked up by Penguin actually, which is so exciting for the author as well because I'm assuming that's a really great like step for their career. But it also does mean that it becomes a lot more affordable, and so this one, now that it's traditionally published, went from like around $30 to $12, which is kind of amazing. I'm very thankful for it. I'm very excited to read that one as well. It's a bit chunky. Then we have, this is a chunker. This is Foul Lady Fortune by Chloe Gong. This is her newest release. It only came out, I don't even know, a few weeks ago. And I needed it. Oh my gosh, this is a floppy paperback that is stunning. I love, love, love the cover. I'm not gonna lie, that is definitely what drew me in at the beginning. I've heard that this does kind of link to These Violent Delights, like might have some sort of like character crossovers or some sort of crossover, some sort of connection. But apparently you don't have to read that duology before reading this one. Please forgive me if I'm incorrect, and if I am incorrect, please tell me so that I don't go into this without reading the other two if I need to. But it says it's 1931 in Shanghai and the stage is set for a new decade of intrigue, because I think the first duology, These Violent Delights and These Violent Ends, was set in Shanghai as well, but in the 1920s. But I'm really intrigued, and I've just heard amazing things about Chloe Gong's writing, and I just wanted to experience it for myself. This is fantasy, by the way. I'm not sure if it's YA, I'm not sure if it's adult. That is just the best sound. I just love a pink cover, I can't lie. And then the last book of this haul that I have to share with you guys, From Luke Off With Love by Mariana Zapata. This is another example of a book that was indie published originally and is now traditionally published, and so is now a lot cheaper to buy, at least in Australia. I'm assuming pretty much everywhere, but in Australia at least it was picked up by Headline Eternal. I actually haven't heard of that publishing house before. I'm really hoping and praying that this means that the rest of Mariana Zapata's books are going to be picked up and traditionally published. I have seen that some of them have started to leave Kindle Unlimited, and that is usually the sign that they are being traditionally published, which is actually really great for the author. Like, I'm so excited for that author. And although it means that we can't get it on Kindle Unlimited, it also means that we don't have to pay like $40+ for a paperback. Like this one, again, was $12, which is just so exciting. I recently read All Roads Lead Here on my Kindle and I loved it. That was my first Mariana Zapata book, so I am very excited to continue reading more of her backlist. And I know that this is a lot of people's favorite, so I'm just so excited to have this in my hands. My first physical Mariana Zapata book. And again, we love a blue cover. What a beautiful stack. We have a bit of color in there, which is nice. But those are all of the books that I have to share with you guys today. I will definitely not be making a haul this big for quite a while now, I am certain. But I am so excited to read all of these books. I'm genuinely so excited for every single one. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video as well. Opening packages, seeing my new books, seeing what else I have put on my physical TBR as well, and maybe you can pick up some of these books as well. Maybe we can read them around the same time and share our love and thoughts and opinions on these books together. Please no spoilers in the comments though for any of these books. And again, if you guys want to keep up with what I'm reading in a more like up-to-date way, definitely check out my bookstagram. I'll have it linked down below and I'll have it on the screen as well. But I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye.